Annie Minerva Turnbo, born August 9th, 1877. Robert and Isabella Turnbo were the real OGs, okay? Robert Turnbo had to go fight for the people who were holding him captive. And him and his wife, Isabella Turnbo, got together and said, hey, we're gonna escape and I'm gonna take the kids and we're gonna go to Illinois. They were in Kentucky. And so while he was fighting for the people who were keeping him enslaved, his wife escaped slavery with her children. Just her and her children. And then once they ended up getting to Illinois, somebody by the name of Annie Minerva Turnbo was born, and this woman was orphaned at a very young age. And around the time that she was orphaned, shortly after that, she went to go live with her aunt. And when she went to go live with her aunt, when she was in school, she started taking a really firm interest in chemistry. But because she kept, you know, having certain health issues, then she wouldn't be in school as much. And that is when she started getting interested in hair. And down the line, the two collided and the rest was history. This is what she created. When we want to talk about the GOAT, when we want to talk about black hair care, when we're talking about the person who did it all, the person who made everything possible, we cannot speak of first until we speak of Annie Minerva Turnbo. And that is what we are going with. And in this video, not only am I going to teach you some things about her, but you will get to talk to her blood.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, you have her face. Oh, honey.
You're so funny now, and I get this all the time. Yeah.
Sorry. I promised myself.
Sorry.
When we talked the last time, I told myself, I was like, Cyn, when you see this woman, do not let the first thing that comes out of your mouth be, girl, you look just like your auntie, but I can't help it. It's like when you've been researching a person for like
and that's all I get.
oh my God, history is like right there. Oh my God. So how are you doing today?
And that's always the funniest part. I'm doing very well, and that's always the funniest part, but also the most humbling, because whenever I make these statements or I talk to people about my aunt, you know, some people over the phone don't really know what to believe, and then as soon as they see a picture, they're like, oh, okay, cool.
It's like
there's nothing else to say. And it was really humbling when I met people who knew her. So I met, you know, some of her students and, you know, her personal assistant even, who was with her the last 10 years of her life. He's 97. And the fact that when he met me, as soon as I sat down, he was like, oh my God, she's back.
No, like, girl.
It's like she's back.
You freaked me out. Like I said, I've been like, this board right here is not just here because of you. Like, it was already written when I saw your page. So when I saw it, I was like, people always talking about they related to somebody. And then I saw your picture, I was like, oh, there go Annie Malone when she was little. Oh my God. So thank you for being available and accessible. Just your very existence. I know that you've probably heard this before, but just your very existence, your family's existence, I think that you can make such a big change in the hair industry, the direction that it tries to go in, because the hair industry would not be the hair industry without Annie Malone, period. There's nothing to even talk about. And the fact that no one knows who she is, whenever anyone says anything about our history in hair, we're talking about Madam C.J. Walker. So I just want you to take the floor.
To shout out my sisters who made this shirt. Okay, my sisters who made this shirt, the Gamble family, Jana and Dee in St. Louis. When I first went, and I'll definitely send you the photo of all of us, because when I first went to St. Louis, I had just the honor of meeting just such beautiful people who honor my aunt. And so the first person I met was a woman by the name of Linda Nance. Okay. And so she runs the Annie Malone Historical Society. And so Miss Nance, and what she's done, she's connected me with beautiful people. She's also friends with the Gamble family who created this shirt. And Jana Gamble, she's a beautiful film director, and she does a lot of great work out in St. Louis. And so when I went out there, I was out there for a play because Linda Nance and her team, they created a play on Annie Malone's life. And that was a very humbling experience because everyone then saw me walk on stage, and I'm like, and yeah, I'm the niece. And they're like, whoa, like people didn't even know I was going to be there. So then when they just see me up there, you just watch a play on this woman's life and everything she went through. And then you see someone of her blood, you know, come up. You know, how many times do you go to a play and watch, you know, a prominent figure and have their legacy come up and be like, all right, now I'm here to do a meet and greet. Like that's a very rare occasion.
It's like,
and I want to,
people say their blood is mixed with it. Like, oh yeah, I got that in my family, but you have her face. So it just hits so different. And that's why I'm like, I just need you on here. Forget, girl, I have pages and pages on your aunt. I was ready to put a PDF together. I'm like, for what? You have her face. You do it. So go ahead. Sorry. Oh.
You're so funny. No, I love you so much. But yes, everything with her legacy. I even went down to St. Louis for the May Day parade. The second largest African-American parade in the country. It's held every year in her honor on the anniversary of her death, May 10th. So it's always around that week.
Okay.
And everybody comes out, people from all over, I'm going to say people from all over the world, but it's major in St. Louis, and a lot of people rooted in St. Louis know about the parade. But I flew out for it in 2019, and it was the best experience I had ever had. It was such a warm welcoming into St. Louis. And it's so funny because my dad, and so Annie Malone, just to give you a background, Annie Malone comes from my paternal side. So my great grandfather, right, is Annie Malone's older brother. So my grandfather then had my father, who then had me. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it's also an interesting twist because it's all, they were all men in the family. So you have my grandfather, you have my uncle, you have my father, and then the next child born is the granddaughter. Yes. And here she is, a Turnbo, the last Turnbo, me and my brother, the last Turnbos. All the other members were women. So they all got married and changed their last names. So and it's so funny because one of my elders, she's passed on already, but she told my younger brother, like maybe 5-6 years ago, you know, you're the last Turnbo, so I'm gonna need you to have at least like 8 to 10 boys. You know what I'm saying? Pop them out to carry on that family Turnbo name. And, come on. And it's so funny because he was like 8 years old, so he walked over to my mom like, Ma, what am I doing? But actually, the beauty of this is I've met other members of the Turnbo family because Annie Malone, she didn't have any kids. She left her estate to my grandfather, his siblings, and other cousins. So a lot of her siblings had all the kids. So there was at least like, you know, eight other branches that could come down, right? And so I come from one of them, makes it like 7 more. And then when you do that math and you think of how many people are out there, I've met one guy and his family's from Ohio and Detroit. Talking to them, seeing their photos, I'm like, wow, yeah, y'all look like my people. Like, that's so crazy. Everybody looks the same. I showed him my grandfather's pictures and seeing everybody together. It's really humbling to see that this journey started off with me just wanting to know more about myself. You know, I was kind of disconnected from my family growing up, and I wanted to dig deeper. And so in digging deeper, I started talking to people, and they tell me about this woman who's in our family. You know, she was great in chemistry, and she dibbled and dabbled here and there, and she was in the hair care industry, you know, and it was just so beautifully and lightly like well said, you know what I'm saying? And then you go on Google and you start meeting people, and you know, they'll always make it so much bigger. You know, your family will humble you. Yeah. Your family will talk about how great you are, but you know, that's on Annie. You know what I'm saying? That's on Annie. You know what I'm saying? We Turnbo. That's what we do. We all great. And It's what we did. You see what I'm saying? And the beauty of that is that because my great grandfather, he was a brick mason. So he built a lot of buildings all over Pennsylvania, you know, all throughout Philadelphia, apartment buildings, townhouses, houses, everything. You know, he was a Freemason, and he did so much and built so many buildings. And so that's why he's such an integral part of her story. You know, when you read books, and how people write about Annie, they'll talk about, you know, where she learned herbalism from, and then who she moved in with, and who raised her, because, you know, she was orphaned at a young age.
Yeah.
You know, so she wasn't able to have, you know, her mom and dad by her side. You know, her parents were the last of the slaves in our family. You see, she came from slave parents and built a multi-million-dollar industry.
But I read the story. That's why, remember when I sent you the video when I was shook because I saw your face? I was like, Robert and Isabella was some goon. Yes. Especially, okay. For sure, your great-great-grandpa was a goon. He was a slave, and he had to fight in war for the people who were holding him hostage. But baby, do you realize how much of a goon Isabella was? Like, she's like, all right, babe, you go fight for them, and I'm gonna pack the kids and run. Not like, oh, she just went to the Greyhound bus station. No, she was a whole slave and escaped with her kids. And then he got done fighting, and then
a whole rack of them, not just one, two. And it's humbling because it's like, this is my bloodline. You know, people can talk about, you know, their legacies and their story and what they want to carry on. But to me, I celebrate this because it's like we're all doing this. You're doing this right now so that your generations will have something to look back on for your legacy when you're not here to tell your story.
Yes.
So I feel as though my aunt, she's been gone for at least 50 plus years now. So at the end of the day, her legacy will still be continued and to be told. And I feel like as I got older and I started to find her books in libraries and read up on just hair history, you know, not even just on Annie Malone. You know, I'm looking at all hair historians and seeing, you know, what they know about people in the beauty world. Because I feel like, you know, if we're gonna, like you said, if we're gonna dominate this hair industry and we're gonna get it back in the black for the black, well, we need to then understand how the black started it.
Yes.
And so I am uncovering so much on my aunt's blueprint, how she did things. And it'll all be included in my projects, in my book, and everything that's coming out for me, because I want to be able to make sure that her legacy is preserved and told the proper way. So even though many may have, you know, a negative portrayal or their own perspective of her, I do feel as though the masses respect what she did as a Black woman, as a leader during that time period. Because at the end of the day, I don't know anybody to this day who could pack up over 100 plus people, move them to a whole nother city, you know what I'm saying?
And
plant them, seed them, water, everything, and build a whole new empire. Because there were people who were in a security mindset and complex that were trying to burn her down physically, burn multiple buildings down. You know, one of the main people that I respect, Colonel Robinson, you know, he was a pilot. He was with the first Black airport. And I talked to some historians who say, you know, it was all over the newspapers when they tried to burn down one of her houses in Chicago, and he pulled her out of the burning fire. You know what I mean? She could have been gone that night. To think, you know, how comfortable are you in your home?
It just
how comfortable, because at the end of the day, it wasn't just, you know, friends she had to worry about. It wasn't just, you know, anybody. It was her own husband.
Yes.
Who betrayed her. Her own husband who's telling her secrets. The person that you're laying in bed with, confiding and thinking that you can. That's the one who was after everything. So that's what's so heavy about it when you think about it, because.
Or was it number one? Was that her first husband?
Husband number two, yes. Not Pope. It was Malone. So there was Pope.
So I want you.
So she was married twice, and sometimes when you'll see a full name with the Pope Malone. But yeah, no, you'll see the Pope Malone. But no, she divorced Pope and then married Malone, and so he was a principal. And, you know, he was a Black man, and he did a lot of networking. And as their status elevated, you know, their network elevated, and he began to network with a lot of people And just to be, you know, black and white with it, white people. And those white people did not like to see such a strong black woman coming up, helping her people, and then profiting from helping her people. Like, oh my God.
They put it in the news, Negro, to own a Rolls Royce. Do we have to? So I know that's why I wanted you on here, because for one, I could see, even when I just looked at your pictures, I could feel it. I could feel it. And even when, as I'm doing my research on her, everybody that talks about her, people say like, oh, I used to be scared of her a little bit. I used to be scared of her. And just for me, I'm all science, but I'm straight, no chaser. And some people be like, oh, Cyn a little aggressive. And I saw it in you. So I would like for you to first tell a little bit about yours. I saw it. I would first like you to tell people just a little bit about you and your background, just because I feel like you're being a little humble right now, because we've already talked and I already and
I'm very humble.
Yeah. Like, I'm actually glad we already talked yesterday. I'm glad you answered my email. My message and stuff. So we can have this conversation, because when you already told me what school you went to, Sasha. So can we like start over? Can you tell us a bit about yourself, please?
Let's get real deep, real thick with this. So my name is Sasha Turnbo. I attend the luxurious, illustrious, phenomenal Howard University. There's a lot of things that I do within Howard University. I started out in 2013. I still have one more semester. I took a break to start my business ventures, but I will go back to finish. You know, I'm not gonna pull a Diddy on them. I'm not gonna be out in that. You know what I'm saying? Come back. I'm gonna leave and then come back to finish. You know what I'm saying? I had to get some things together. I'm building an empire to get some stuff in line. But yes, love Howard University. Started a modeling organization there. Howard University Elite Models. My people. Elite is an acronym for exceeding limitations internally to externally. And that is a motto that we live by every day. And that is something I live by with Annie Malone, with my family, with my friends. We will always exceed limitations, no matter what we look like externally. You know, as long as we're beautiful internally, there's nothing else to say. And so along with Howard University, because you do know Annie Malone donated $25,000 to start Howard University Medical School. Okay. It's all right though. I'm still paying Sally Mae. Don't trip. Don't trip. It's okay. I didn't get my whatever. It's okay.
It's okay.
But yes, no, she did do a lot for you know what I'm saying? We make it through. You know what I'm saying? We're owed. How much? What they say? 40 acres and a mule. How much they say we always owe? But it's okay. We always gotta pay.
We're not waiting for them to
come. We'll get there. We'll get there.
We're taking it. We're saying no. That does not belong to you. That doesn't belong to you. That belongs to her. And you're gonna put her name on it, or you're gonna put her name on it. There's like no option, because before, the women who came before us, like Annie. The reason that I really wanted you on here, and I could just see the power all over you, because I feel like if your aunt, if your aunt was around right now, baby, without the limitations that she had back then, baby, but her blood runs through your veins, so you can do it now. But we need to get all of this mess out of the way. All of the people that try to come in and put the name on our stuff, and all of the arguments, because to me, and then after this, you take the floor again. I feel like one of the main issues, and one of the main reasons that it's so hard for me and you is because we're not just fighting against other races to give them the truth. We're also fighting against our own. And to me, that's the hardest fight, because it's easy to fight them. To me, Auntie Annie blood probably already running through you, telling you how to fight them. She already did that. Our struggle comes from within. Just like you said, your Auntie Annie, her downfall was not the white man. It was the man that was in her home. It was the people closest to her. So if
home in her bed. So talk about cleaning your womb. Okay.
Here we go.
But yeah, it's very hot and heavy for me. It runs very deep for me because, like I said, no one is allowing their family to be disrespected in any type of way. You know, I know people who are outside fighting because you say a disrespectful like term towards their mother.
Just your mama.
She's bad about somebody's parent, and people are ready. So now you're coming for a whole legacy of a body of work that a woman perfected. Because at the end of the day, when people want to talk about animosity, it's not what they love to do and what I'm not going to do. And you're not going to hear from me. I'm not here to bash one Black woman. Because at the end of the day, Madam Walker is not the only one that Annie Malone went up against. She went up against a lot of major companies, a lot of people who think they started a lot of things. But don't worry, it'll all be revealed because people will see how the beauty of hair care is rooted on Black women. I will give respect to Madam Walker and what she did with her legacy because guess what? At the end of the day, she got it done.
Yeah.
She got it done. Somebody
marketing master. You gotta give her that. Women. Marketing, branding.
It was multiple women who did it. So hold it down. See what I'm saying? Because a lot of women, and we'll go into those court cases, some women didn't succeed. Some women stole stuff, got away with stuff, and got caught up with stuff. That's the thing. That's how hot and heavy it'll get when you read my books, when you read my blogs, when you see my videos and what I uncovered. She went up against the world. That's the thing. It's not just about one person. Y'all, let's make it about one thing. It's never one thing. We put on as a Black woman.
The reason that I want you on here
in your life, or do you fight the world in your life?
Girl, because peep this, I'm going to send you this link when we get off of here. There was this video of this woman, and I'm sure you've heard of, I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Gina Curl, and it's a spin on the Jerry Curl. And it's something that's stolen from our culture completely and twisted around. And it was so funny because me and you are the same type of woman. I can clearly see. And people are like, oh, you're so aggressive. Or, oh, I heard you're so mean. Or why you? I'm like, I'm not aggressive. Y'all just need to pull your nuts up. Like, I'm not aggressive. You're just soft. What do you mean? What are you talking about? I'm just trying to
up.
Pull your nuts up. I just want to. So it's like, what is this? I love you showing your passion because there's a difference between aggression and passion. And if women like me and you are not around to say, no, that shit ain't right. That's not yours. Your name don't go on that. That's hers. Then by the time my daughter gets our age, we're not going to have any history left. We barely have any now, Sasha.
And so the beauty of being able to retell history, because that's one thing that a lot of people I know are not going to like about me. And I'm already mentally prepared for that. Just to give you my background, I'm only 25 years old. When Annie Malone, Aunt Annie, we're going to keep it real. Aunt Annie, okay?
Let's do that.
That's how I call her. That's how I respect her. So with Aunt Annie, people need to understand that when she started a lot of this, she was 22 in Illinois. And it's funny because she was in Brooklyn, Illinois. When I started my business, I was 22 in Brooklyn, New York. I'll get into how deep it gets because it's spiritual. Okay. When I say like,
oh, we can go there.
She comes to me in my sleep. You know what I mean? I feel her all the time. You know what I mean? Like that, and that's why when people want to talk about legacy, they want to talk about ancestry. Your ancestors will always guide and protect you. So at the end of the day, I don't care what anyone has to say about continuing on a legacy. You can support who you want. You can support your favorite basketball player, your favorite football player, your favorite celebrity star singer. I'm going to choose to celebrate my aunt who held it down. I encourage some people to dig into their history. Maybe you'll uncover that you also come from greatness. You're an heir, because I'm considering myself, I'm an heir to a legacy.
Girl, to the throne, do you hear?
So maybe you are an heir, because when all of this came out, it wasn't just, Annie Malone supporters. It was also other heirs who have been in like Black history pushed underneath the rug. And they're like, oh my God, you're making me feel so I need to tell my person's story for this and my person's story for that.
So we were on the phone for almost over 3 hours. It's just so much information, but it will all be on my podcast. So stay tuned. It's coming soon. I love you guys so much, but everything that we've been dealing with in the black hair community for years, it is a repetitive cycle. It's like we're constantly going through the same cycles over and over again. And the definition of insanity is to constantly do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Now today, and now the new thing that all black women are going crazy over and talking about is this gorilla glue situation, gorilla snot, gorilla glue, snot, all of that stuff. But in reality, this is a never-ending cycle that black women are constantly on, because this is not the first time that a black stylist has told you guys don't use those products. She is not the first woman to use that product on her hair. She's the first person to use that much, and it was irreversible. But women have been using gorilla snot and gorilla glue on their hair for a very long time. And before this, we had diva cuts. Everyone was so gung-ho about diva cuts, and professional hairstylists, cosmetologists that really study the human body were like, okay, no, don't do that. We shouldn't cut our hair like that. No, don't use those products. We shouldn't do that. And then no one listened. Everyone bashed the hairstylist that tells you not to do it, and then years and years and years go by, and the things that all of the professional cosmetologists were trying to tell you guys to prevent you from getting into certain situations, they happen. And then everybody's like, oh my God, help, help, help us. And then now everyone's mad that the professional cosmos don't want to help, when we were the ones telling you guys not to do it in the first place. When we go back in time and look at Annie Turnbo, when Annie Turnbo took off, one of the main products that she created was something to make it easier for black women to straighten their hair. Why? Because at the time, black women were using goose fat to put in their hair or to moisturize their scalp, or bacon grease. Black women did not know what to do with their hair. So Annie Turnbo came and she said, hey, this is what you do. You use this product formulation, and this is the thing. She didn't just tell people what to do. She also let them know, like, hey, this is how you become a cosmetologist or a herbalist. And then this is how you formulate your business to make money. And then this is how you invest your money once you make it. There is no person living, walking the face of this earth that has created anything to the same scale that Annie Minerva Turnbo did, period, point blank. And as a black woman, we need to make a conscious effort to explore and to learn different things, and stop attacking the stylists and the cosmetologists that are trying to tell you things. Because the type of cosmetologist I am, women like Annie Minerva Turnbo become my life's study. So when I'm making videos and I'm saying, hey, don't use that, I'm not saying it so I can make money. Why? Because I'm in passive income. I make money in ways that y'all don't even know about, that have nothing to do with hair. When I'm making these videos, I'm making it from my heart, because I know that the women that came before me, they laid an unbreakable foundation. And how dare I try to stand on that foundation without giving homage to the person who built it for me? This woman was a powerhouse. And as a black woman, I do not have to watch the way that I speak. I don't have to watch the way that I move my neck. No, because my power is what pushes me forward. And if the way that I carry myself makes you uncomfortable, then baby sugar foot, you just need to lift your chin up. So I love you guys so much, but this is the first of many series that will come for Annie Minerva Turnbo. She was so amazing, and her legacy still lives. And if you are talking about hair care, the beauty industry, anything, we cannot speak on it unless we are speaking of Annie Minerva Turnbo. I'm gonna let her tell her family story the way that she wants to tell it, and then when her book comes out, if you want more information, then you go get the book and you read more about it. In the description box below, I'm going to put more information about Annie Turnbo. And there are so many black women who are so excellent, who have already done the research, who have already put everything together for you. So no, I'm not being lazy, but I'm showing respect to the women who've already done the work, who've already done the research. So to the women that I have tagged in the description box below, I want to say thank you. Thank you for organizing it. Thank you for speaking like the queen and the goddess that you are. And thank you for joining this fight with me to make sure that our sisters really know their history. Because peep this, whether y'all like it or not, whether you like me today or you like me tomorrow or you like me next week, the people who came before me, their legacy will live. And anybody can do whatever they want, but I don't care what color your skin is. Whoever created something first, like Marcel in France, he deserves his respect, and nobody should be able to take what he created from him. And that goes for everybody, no matter the color of your skin. So let's get into this.